to Crafty Purple Dragon channel. What I want to do is do a little bit of a work in progress completion. I've not got much to do now on this canvas, just got a few beads to finish off. So I want to do kind of a mini WiP Chat, and then I'll do a post review, followed by a little bit of an unboxing, because if I think what's in here is in here, I need it to complete my canvas. So that's the plan. So this is a 30 by 40, you'll have already seen a picture of it, and you can probably see part of it here. Anybody who's sort of scrolled through stuff on AliExpress may well have come across it. And actually I've quite enjoyed doing this. Obviously we're not finished yet, but I did make a few little notes, which I'll do afterwards. I'll do after when I've finished the finished putting the beads on. Right, so I'm currently on lowercase e. So what should we chat about in this WiP Chat? Things are a little bit in turmoil for me at the moment. If you watch the channel, you'll know that my husband works away during the week, but for a number of reasons he's not going to be doing that for much longer. Not sure how long it's going to be yet, but he is finishing his current job. So I'm glad to say that he will be back home again during the week and at weekends. So I'm getting my husband back. He's been away for 7 years. Sounded like he'd been in prison or something. He's been working away during the week for 7 years. So for 7 years we've only really seen each other at weekends, and before that, when I worked, I had a job that kept me away during the week, but fortunately for me I only had to put up with that for 2 or 3 years. I can't quite remember how long I worked away, but I did the same thing as he's doing now, in that I used to go to work, travel down on a Sunday evening, well up, because I worked up north. I'm based in the northwest of England, and I went across and up to the northeast. I used to work in Newcastle upon Tyne, so I had a 2.5 journey on a Sunday evening to get to my digs ready for work on Monday, and then I would travel back. I'd finish at lunchtime on a Friday and travel back on a Friday afternoon to be back for sort of tea time-ish and ready for the weekend. And it was quite difficult at that time because my daughter was still quite young. She would have been about, just trying to think, about 10. So I was having to deal with living separately from my husband and my what was quite young daughter at the time. and I really struggled with that. I only managed, like I say, about 2 or 3 years. And then, you know, and obviously, whilst I was coping with being on my own, my husband was having to cope with being a single father, single parent, and all that that entailed for him, working full time and having the sole responsibility during the week for my daughter. So that wasn't easy. And then I managed to get a job back down near home, so that helped relieve the pressure on him. And then he ended up getting a job, sort of he's been working in the Midlands for the past 7 years. But in some respects it was easier for me because my daughter was that much older when he was away, so I was doing the, although one would argue that I had maybe the more difficult time because I had to put up with her on my own while she went through the teenage years, and anybody who's had a teenage child will no doubt sympathise with me there. But he's had the, I'd say he's had the more difficult time because he's been away for longer, and this last couple of years particularly he's been having difficulties at work with his boss. You know, anybody who's had difficulties with their boss knows that it's difficult, and you know, if you're on your own, you're isolated from your family, you've not got, I mean these days there's Skype, and obviously we do Skype chats, and email and text is a lot easier, whereas when I was doing it, which was about 15 years ago it was when I was doing it, 15 years? Yeah, it's probably about 15 years ago. Skype wasn't really a thing. We had email and text, but there wasn't really the same sort of data privileges, and it wasn't quite as easy to communicate. But, you know, even though we've got Skype or WhatsApp or, you know, Facebook Messenger or whatever, it's still difficult. You don't quite have the same level of one-to-one conversation opportunities as you do when you sat in the same room as somebody of an evening having tea and watching telly. So he's been struggling at work, so we've made the decision that he needs to come home, no matter what it means financially. With the current climate as it is with jobs, he's got quite a specialist job. The opportunities have been few and far between, and he's not been lucky enough to secure anything over here as yet. But he's coming home anyway, and will suffer the financial consequences of that. But, you know, he'll be home and he'll be a lot less stressed. And whatever happens, happens, and we'll deal with it together. So, yeah, it's been a little bit difficult. I mean, what made it even worse for him was, sorry, I didn't mean to knock the camera. He lost his dad about 20 years ago. and his mother's uncle has been his sort of not father figure, but you know, the sort of main elder male in his life since his dad died, and his uncle died in September last year. So that was hard on him. It was hard on him because it was hard on him, and it was hard because he was away, not able to, you know, deal with that with his family, with his mum and his brother. And then there's been complications in trying to deal with the his uncle was never married, so he had no other relatives apart from my husband, his mum and his brother. So they've all been having to deal with sorting out his property and getting everything through probate, and you know, sorting everything with the solicitor, and while he was in hospital, going to hospital as often as they could, and dealing with all the medical side of things. And then we had to deal with his dog, because he had a dog. So that's all added pressure, which was made, again, you know, like I said, more difficult because my husband was working away. So there's been quite a few pressures, and it's just all getting out of hand, and it's just better that he comes home. So that's the plan. Not quite sure on how many weeks he'll have to work before they'll let him go, but whatever it is, at least we know he's on every day the time scale between him having to stay there for work and being able to come home permanently gets shorter, so that's a good thing. So what that means for me is I get my husband back every day. He'll be around, getting under my feet, getting on my nerves, annoying me, and I'm not too sure what the financial situation's going to be like yet. So all my prolific ordering of diamond paintings that I've been doing recently will have to be curtailed for the foreseeable future. Now I have got about, I don't know, I'll have a look in my book, I've got quite a few diamond paintings that I've already bought and paid for, so those will start coming in, you know, in the next few weeks. Nothing I can do about that, but going forward I don't expect there to be as many unboxing videos as there has been. And to be fair, that's probably not a bad thing. I have been going a bit mad, it has to be said, you know. I mean, I've been able to afford it, so, you know, I like to be able to show people things that they can't necessarily get themselves unless they know exactly what it's like, so they can make a better decision on which painting they want to buy. You know, if you've got if you've got an interest in 2 diamond paintings but you can only afford 1, and I've been able to show you both of those to help you make the decision to see which one it is that you want to spend your precious resources on, then I'm happy to have been able to do that for people. But until we get ourselves sorted out, unfortunately I won't be able to do that. Once all the stuff that I've got on order comes through the postal system, and we know that can take a while because it's coming from, most of it's coming from China, so I'm not sure what that's going to mean for the channel really, because I'm not the best person for doing things other than unboxings and post reviews really. I've done little bits of other things, but that's been mainly what I've done on my channel, so I'm not too sure what I'll do going forward. I mean, I'll be sat here doing paintings for sure because I've got blooming loads of them. But under normal circumstances I don't have a lot to talk about. I don't work for health reasons. It's not very often I go out of the house. My daughter and stepson both live, you know, they've got their own houses, they've got their own families, so I'm not having to run around and do stuff for them. I don't really have, you know, much to talk about from what's going on in the family type of situation. I think I've said before I go out 2 or 3 times a week maybe, depending on what's going on. So, you know, I'm not really doing thrilling things during the week that I can talk about either, so that's why I've kind of not really bothered about doing WiP and Chat type videos because I don't have a lot of chat. Yeah, I'm not one of these people, and I do envy them, the people who can sort of sit and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and always find things to talk about. Fascinates me. Yeah, then did I go up that row? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at me. Oh, I need a couple of these I've spotted that I missed. Where's the gun? Okay. So, hashtag. Okay. Yeah, so that's my sort of main news really. I don't know when the effect will come into being because, like I say, I don't know yet how much notice my husband's got to work before he'll be able to stop work and come home. And I don't know how long it's going to take for the stuff that I've already bought and paid for to turn up. It's going to take at least a couple of weeks for the stuff that I've ordered this week to turn up, so it'll be a little bit of a time before any effect is seen on my channel. But it was just to give you guys a heads up that going forward things might change a little bit. But I hope still to be able to do stuff. You know, I enjoy doing YouTube. I like watching YouTube videos. I like doing the YouTube videos for informative purposes for other people. So I'm hoping that carries on, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up that it may be a little bit different, but we'll see. We'll see. He might find himself something quite quickly once he gets here and he gets time to sort of de-stress and get his head in a better place so that he can actually attack job hunting in a more positive manner. Now, this is part of my post review really, but this number, which is 3859, can't see it, 3859, which is that colour. Oh, these beads have been dreadful. Dreadful. So holy. So many holes. I don't know if you can see in there actually. No, can't see. So many holes. It takes me ages to do this colour because I've actually got to actively search through the beads on the tray to avoid the ones with holes in. Come on. Because there's so many of them. And then that's not even counting the ones that have got extra bits or are misshapen or anything, so absolute nightmare, this colour. So from the respect of this colour drill, I'll be glad when I've finished this painting, because this is a right pain. I keep worrying that I'm not going to have enough of them to finish it off. Ooh, get on there. I mean, all these here are this colour, and I've got a few more. That, oops, is all I've got left. And at least half of them are going to be unusable. Beads all over the place. And they're stuck together. Oh, one just escaped then. There's not many of them cracking, but there are quite a few. Oh, there we go. I've lost a few more onto the carpet. Oh, annoying, this colour, really annoying. Did I manage to catch them in my skirt? I did. In my dress. Come on. Oh, there's quite a lot pinged out. I got them. I got them. Okay, so hopefully I've got enough to finish off this section quite easily. Come on. I'm sure I don't see all the holes. And there's those that are concave, so won't stick. Ah. These have had quite a lot of concave shaped ones. So what with holes and having no insides, it's been really difficult, this colour. So my stepson lives quite a way away from us. He moved away for university, and he's ended up settling down in the Midlands actually. So we don't see a lot of him and his family. He's got a daughter. So we don't see much of those because they live two and a half hours away from us. Although not in the same part of the Midlands that my husband works in. Annoyingly. Anyway, him and his wife had a daughter last year. She turned 1 at the beginning of last month. And we weren't able to get down there for her birthday. Oh, I think I've managed that colour now. So they're bringing her up next weekend for a visit so that we can see her. Now she's past her first year of life. So that'll be nice. Alright, looking forward to that. And they have quite a lot of family to visit because, as is the way these days, with sort of extended families and whatever, parents being separated and having new partners and new partners' family and stuff, they actually have quite a lot of people to visit when they're up here. So they're splitting the time between both sides of both sets of parents. Yeah, modern life is complicated. So they're going to be staying with us overnight, which is quite difficult because of the dog. The dog doesn't see a stepson and his family as part of her pack, so they're not allowed in the house. So the dog's going to have to go and stay out at the dog walker's. She's going to go and have a sleepover at the dog walker's house. Well, they stay with us overnight because otherwise she just wouldn't let them in the door. But that'd be nice anyway. Nice to see them. And that'll be Easter soon. Which I don't particularly do anything for. I'm not one of these people who... Whoops. Lost the bead then. I'm not one of these people who give up stuff for Lent. I have a quite restricted diet anyway, so... I don't eat a lot of chocolate, so I can't give up chocolate for Lent. Oh, I feel like I want to sneeze. Sorry about that. But it's nice around Easter because you get to have a little bit of extra family time. People tend to visit and do stuff or whatever around Easter, because there's, certainly in the UK anyway, we have Good Friday, which is the Friday before Easter, and I'm saying this because I don't know what happens in other countries. We have the Friday before Easter and the Monday after Easter as Good Friday and Easter Monday. So it's a nice long weekend where you get to do stuff with the fam. And spring is my favourite time of year. I love spring. So it's nice because we've now had our clocks go forward in the UK, so we're not on GMT anymore, we're on British summertime. So it's an hour forward from our normal standard Greenwich Mean Time, which means it's lighter. Generally during the, we have sort of more hours of daylight, and the weather's starting to feel a bit warmer, and you know, the sun's out for a little bit longer. So it's generally a time of year that I quite like. I start to feel a bit more positive about things, because I do suffer a little bit with seasonal affective disorder, which I counter actually, and I would recommend for people, if you don't have it, I use a daylight alarm clock. So I have an alarm clock that when I set it, like it's a lamp attached to my alarm clock. So if I set the alarm to come on at 8 o'clock in the morning, I can also set it so that the light attached to the alarm clock turns on very low, at a very low light level at a period of time before the alarm's due to sound. And over the time between when the light first comes on and when the alarm sounds, the light level increases all the time until when the alarm goes off, the light is on fully. And what that does is it ties in with our sort of natural body responses to things getting lighter, and it actually means that getting out of bed in winter is a lot easier. So I have it set at now I'm not working, I have it set at 15 minutes. When I was working, I used to have it set at 30 minutes to help me sort of be able to jump up and, you know, get out of bed easy, and when it's dark mornings and dark nights. And what mine does is I can do a sunrise and a sunset. So when I press the button to turn my alarm on at night, my light starts to go dimmer, so I don't have to turn my light off. I get a sunset effect. So over 15 minutes from when I press the button to turn my alarm on, the lamp gets dimmer and dimmer, so your body gets a natural slow warning, if you like, that it's time to go to sleep. And then I'm in a dark room, I have blackout curtains, so my body isn't disturbed by street lights or whatever from outside. And then 15 minutes before my alarm's due to go off in the morning, the lamp starts to come on, And since I got that sunrise alarm clock, I felt a lot better during the winter months. I still get, you know, down during the winter, but nowhere near as bad as I used to. It's a lot better, a lot better with that. Now, I know they are quite expensive, sunrise alarm clocks. I think when I bought that, I'm trying to think what it was, I must have had it for 10 or 15 years. No, far longer than that actually. Probably about 20 years. Do you know, I have this argument all the time with my husband that I always think I've had stuff or we've done stuff sort of a lot less time ago than he does. And you know, I have to keep reminding myself I've not actually worked for 10 years now. Due to ill health. I had to leave work due to ill health, and I haven't worked for 10 years, and that alarm clock used to get me out of bed for work for years when I was working. So I must have had it for, don't know, like say 20, 25 years. And when I bought it, it cost me about 80 quid all that time ago. And they're still not cheap now. However, you can get apps for your phone now. Sunrise alarm clock apps. Now, I don't know, because I don't have to rely on them. I don't know that the light effect that you get from a phone, because it's relying on like the internal luminescence of your phone screen. I don't know that that's as effective as a lamp attached to a sunlight alarm clock. But I suppose it's better than nothing, you know, and it might be worth a try to see if it has any effect before you perhaps invest in a sunlight alarm clock. Oh, and the lines have gone. I knocked them all out. Go. Right, come on, we're nearly there now. Nearly there. I'm not very good with multi-places, as you can probably tell. I never seem to be able to leave all the drills behind. I don't know if it's because I'm pressing too hard, so they stick too much to my placer. But I do it quite badly, I think. I'm sorry if I keep knocking you. I'm in a bit of a weird place there. I had a bit of a different setup where I got like an arm so that I could do a top-down view. But it turned out the arm wasn't strong enough. My camera's too heavy, or the arm was too weak. I don't know. That had to go back, and I'm waiting for a replacement at the moment. So I've had to go back to using it just on my normal tripod, which is actually quite a low tripod. It doesn't go very high. I didn't actually take a lot of note of the height of the tripod when I got it. I thought, oh, tripod, I need one of those. I'll get that one. So I should probably have gone for a tripod that actually lifts elevates the camera up higher, but I didn't. That might have been easier for doing overhead shots as well. But I can't afford a new camera now, a new tripod now. So, but I had already ordered this arm thing, so I'm waiting for the replacement one to turn up and see if that's any better. If not, it'll have to go back and I'll stick with the setup that I've been working with these past few months and wait until we figure out what our financial situation's going to be like going forward. Right. I missed one of those horrible coloured ones there. And then I've got lowercase g and a couple of bits of other things that I've missed, and then that's it. Right. Boo, boo, boo. Let me just find that. Which one is it? There. What number was it? Is it that one? Yeah, this one. See if I can get one without holes in it. I've got some joined together. And some more joined together. Come on. Oh, you're actually kidding me. I keep getting the ones that are joined together. It's ridiculous. Come on. Again, joined together. Good grief. It's your fault, Pixie. I don't want to tip them out, but it might be easier actually. I've got one. Right, there we go. All the rest have been joined together. Grr. Right. So, that was that. I've done. I need one of those. Right. I need one of these. Just seen one of these missing. Yeah. And I think I need a cup, but no, just one of these, is it? One of these? Don't you hate it when you're getting towards the end and then you realise that while you've been going through doing your different colours or whatever, you've missed some. So then you have to go back and get the little, just get one out of a tub to finish off. It's really annoying. So annoying. Oh, come on. Right, where's Little E? Started off with Little E, didn't I? Where's Little E? Good grief. Here it is. Little E. which is like a brown colour. There. And I need the plus sign. Got 2 plus signs. Where is the plus sign? It's like a blue colour. Here it is. 2 of these I need. There's one up there. And there's one down here. And then I think I've just got lowercase g to do. And then I'm done. Just lowercase g here. All along the edge of the frill. So, let's do that. It's like pink, finishing off the tummy area. And then we're done. Whoops. So these are quite good, this colour, so it should go quite quickly. And nearly there. Down here. Oops. Okay, so I think that's it. That's the end of that picture until I start messing about with it and I'll knock some drills out. But now we've done that, what I need to do is find my rolling pin. It's not as vital with rounds, but I always do it anyway. Always go over it with a rolling pin. And then what I've been doing is using my straightener that I've got and just running it across the area each time I've finished it. And because this is the last area, I'm not actually quite sure where it started and finished, so we'll have a guess. But I just do a bit of a run across. Did I knock a drill out yet? There's an A knocked out there. You have to be careful because you do end up knocking some drills out, but I think it helps give the picture an overall better. I mean, it doesn't make everything 100% straight, but it sort of evens out most of the gaps. So I do it horizontally and put that back in. Horizontally and vertically I do it. The glue's a bit slippy on the edge because I'll do that. I'll turn the light pad off now. The light pad obviously gets quite warm, so it makes the glue a bit slippier on the edge where the power part of the light bar is. So I need to do the vertically now. So it's a little bit hit and miss because that was the last panel, so I'm not 100% sure where it was, but it doesn't do any harm doing what I've already done. So what I'll do with this is, what I usually do when I've completed a diamond painting is roll and pin it all out. I think I might have lost another drill somewhere. Felt like I had one on my hand. Rolling pin all over it, and then leave it somewhere flat for a couple. Okay, sorry about that. I had to change the batteries and empty the files off the card. So while that was happening, I finished off using the straightener on this. Hello, doggy. Hello, doggy. What you doing? What you doing? Go up to bed. That's what you want. Go on. Good girl. So, what have I done with my book? Oh, here it is. Right. Let's do a post review then. So, this picture, which you can see most of, just zoom out a bit so you can see. So they're not on a funny angle, so sorry about that. This is a 30 by 40, 29 colours, full round diamond painting. I got it from AliExpress from a shop called WiP Crafts. It took, well, it was over the Christmas period, so let's have a think. From dispatch to delivery, it was about 2 weeks, but that included Christmas and New Year. So in total I've spent, seems like a long time. Let's have a look. 4, 5, hang on, 14, 18, 19, 20, 24 hours this has taken. Actual drilling time, more or less. To do. This is the largest painting I've done so far. As I think I've said previously, I do have problems with my hands. I've got various health conditions, so I don't paint particularly fast. I don't drill very fast at all, which is why it probably take me longer than it does, you know, it might take somebody else to do a picture of this size. It's round, so rounds are quicker than squares, I find. But overall I enjoyed doing it, apart from, as I was saying earlier on, this colour, which is, I said it before, didn't I? What is it, 38 something? Where is it? 3859 in this kit was diabolical. Let's have a look at all the rubbish I've got. There were some issues with other colours, but just the occasional sort of bits of extra overflow from pores. A little bit of plastic trash. I mean, overall the trash hasn't been that bad, I don't think. Really. That's all the trash from this painting. And as you can see, most of it is that brownish colour. This colour. Dreadful. Dreadful. dropped my pen. Pixie made me drop my pen. There. So the canvas codes weren't colour matched in all cases. Now it's not particularly clear now it's actually been finished, but for example, a blue drill didn't necessarily have a blue background. It was it says it here, canvas codes not colour matched to drills, e.g. brown drills had a code with a green background, black drill had a blue background. So that was the only other point to note, really. But, and because of that I was a little bit worried that, you know, the colour that shows between the beads, because they're round, might sort of adversely affect the overall finish of the painting, but I don't think it does. It's not actually that obvious when you look at it from a distance, which is basically what you're supposed to do with these sort of paintings. So yeah, I don't know if you can see the sparkle actually. It's the dark colour that tends to show the sparkle most. So I think overall that painting was quite good. I like the finished effect. Now what I need to do is put my, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it actually, might have to turn it round, run my what's the word, rolling pin, run my rolling pin on it. Turn it round so I can do the top bit, because all I've got support in the, because it was a bigger painting, I put a bit of foam board up here to support the top of the painting, to stop it falling over the edge of my table. So right, that's rolling pin on this bit. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it that way round, because what I want to do now, oh, I forgot to say how much the painting was. Actually, it cost £10.17. Now what I want to do is I want to do this unboxing, because I think it's a tool I want to use here. And I need my scissors. Where are they? There they are. So this seems to have taken forever to get in. Good grief, really long bag. Get out. Ta-da! This is a row straightener, I believe. So, although I have been using, as I've been going along, I've been using this one. This white one is thinner. Oh gosh, you probably can't see, but the edge is thinner, so I'm hoping that it'll I don't know whether it will make any difference, but I've got it, so I might as well use it. So let's have a go at that. First of all, tell you how much it was, where I got it from. So this, oh, I got this from WiP Chat. So you may remember that I got these containers, and I ended up getting 2 lots because they sent me the wrong colour. Well, in between me getting the wrong colour ones and them sending me the replacements, all that time I've been waiting for this tool to turn up as well, because they were all ordered on the same day. So this cost me £3.03 from WiP Chat on AliExpress. It was ordered on the 8th of March and it arrived on the 2nd of April. So that's taken nearly a month to get here. That's really quite bad. I reckon they didn't send it when they sent me the first lot of storage bags, and only actually sent it when I told them that I'd got the wrong colour. Because I think what probably happened is somebody else ordered the same ones that I did, but in the blue. So they were there waiting, and they probably put the tool in with my purple ones, sent them to someone else. I got the 2 blue ones which didn't have the tool in, so they had to send the tool separately when I told them that I'd got the wrong ones. That's my theory anyway. I have no basis for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use this tool to maybe make these drills a little bit neater. Especially because in some instances, like here, they've moved. Ooh. So now the painting's completely finished, I need to straighten everything up. Roll a pin everything out again. Rolling pin everything out again. And then leave it for a little while to settle before I decide whether I'm going to seal it or not. So the same as I did with the other one, I'm going to do this horizontally and vertically on all the rows. And you don't need to see me do it all. So I'll come back to you when I have done it all and show you, and you can decide whether you think it looks better having done it. Hey, so I've been across the whole painting with this adjustment tool, whatever it's called, and it's a pain to do it when the canvas is completed. It is really tedious. I would suggest that you do this as you're going along. I think it's worthwhile doing it. It depends how good you are at placing your drills, but I think it's really straightened up the rows. I'll do a zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you. Just a random part of the canvas. Oop. This is the issue now. That's as close in as I can get without it going blurry and not focusing. And I think those rows are quite straight. They weren't that straight when I put them on. Nowhere near. The problem with it is, let me just zoom out again. The problem is that when you're doing it, because it's such a sharp edge, it's scraping the adhesive. So this gets full of sticky. The sticky off the canvas ends up on the drills. I've had to wipe the drills over with a wipe. Yeah, so I suggest, I found it difficult as well because my hands, I have problems with my hands hurt, and they really hurt now. But I do think it's worthwhile. It's something that I'll have handy, and I will use it as I'm going along. You know, I'll use this as I'm working, and then at the end of each section I'll straighten the row. I mean, it might be better just to sort of press it between the row and lift it out instead of doing a sort of up and down motion and scraping at the glue. Just do a press down and up, down in between the rows and lift it back up again, so that you're not actually moving it across the surface of the adhesive layer at the back. So that's that for today. Thank you very much for your company, as always. It's very much appreciated. Hopefully my waffle wasn't too boring, and if you have made it to the end of the video, I do very much appreciate your perseverance and your company. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It is much appreciated, as is any likes and comments that you may need. That likes or comments that you might feel so inclined to leave. If you haven't already, click the notification bell, please do that as well, and then you're notified each time I release a video. Again, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Bye for now.